I think today I woke up sometime around 5 in the morning, I want to say. Maybe around 4:30 in the morning at the earliest. Either way, I believe I slept for a pretty long time. But it seemed like I woke up a bit too early today. And Dad took me out to eat at Salvatore's at around 6:30 p.m., I want to say. And this is all the leftover, I believe, cheesy garlic bread. I microwaved it for 30 seconds. Had to tear the top part of the box off to get it to fit in the microwave. I think I only ate about 2 pieces while at Salvatore's. Had a painkiller, then a strawberry margarita, and then basically the bartender described it as she has blueberry lemonade. There are 2 straws. 2 black plastic straws were put in that drink for some reason. This is my current progress for the Autumn Zodiac. Though I have a sneaking suspicion I've already gone through this episodic event. At least the Red Panda Master is a 3x3 evolvable building, so I at last can replace this evolvable building. That hardly produces anything for me anymore these days. Or maybe instead I could place it somewhere around here, maybe. Or somewhere else, perhaps. It isn't likely I'm gonna do that, though. Space is kind of quite a premium these days in this game. This is all the dialogue I've unlocked so far for the storyline. I've actually only contributed 101 knowledge points to this particular Ancient Wonder. Six Spire encounters. Gotta produce 4 baskets of groceries. This is a cookie Mom baked for me when I got home around 8 p.m. But I didn't feel like eating it right away because I wanted to save it for later. Just like most of this garlic bread. So I took a nap in my room. Mom and Johnny ordered some Chinese food and I haven't had any yet, but I believe they saved me some. At Salvatore's, I had a pasta dish that consisted of ziti with 2 meatballs and Alfredo extra sauce. It was pretty good. At one point, Dad mixed up the margarita, strawberry margarita, with the plastic straw for it. And then at another point, he squeezed in some juice from the lime garnish and then put it into the drink itself. That strawberry margarita tastes pretty strong to me. And for the painkiller, I had to be given a spoon because I at some point noticed a whole bunch of chunky white stuff in the drink after I drank about half of it or so. It turns out that was coconut. I used the spoon to chew both the coconut and the ice in that drink. This is where I am currently for the Prosperity Towers upgrade. All between getting up and going to Salvatore's, I essentially at the same time worked on finishing the styrofoam drawing I started during a recent road trip. I had 2 pieces of this garlic bread, essentially. To dip it into any Alfredo sauce that was left over after eating all the pasta, so that I wouldn't waste even the Alfredo sauce on the plate. Or at least not any that was in the plate's depression. Yeah, I felt a little tired while I was at Salvatore's, but before that, I was working pretty hard on the 99th Dan hamming. As it turns out, that thing where a black and white effect denotes a flashback, while a sepia tone is more like daydreaming about things that didn't really happen, thinking about possibilities. Excuse me. It turns out I can still do that in what I use, which is Camtasia 2019. Having the latest version at this point would require paying additional money. I had been so rusty today that I had to relearn that I use Bandicam, the registered version, which costed some money. I think the upgrade fee for Camtasia is some $199. I use the hotkey 1 to start and stop a recording on Bandicam. I have the freedom to select my own recording areas when it comes to Bandicam. I spent some time today because I looked over Bandicam in detail. I spent some time today, towards the afternoon, fixing and trying to fix little bugs I noticed. I settled on this for the sepia tone. At some point I actually rediscovered a notebook in which I wrote down some notes regarding the 99th Dan Hammond episode and how I would operate in regards to Dan Hammond episodes. For the sepia tone, I settled on a color with the hex code FFCB8E. Some kind of light yellow-orange. That's what I do for a sort of daydream sequence. For a flashback, you simply use the visual effect, color adjustment, keep the brightness and contrast the same, and remove all the saturation. -100. And to make those effects, I actually split track 2, or the raw video file itself. Now, when it comes to these these non-business themes, as they were retired by Beyond entirely with the retirement of the legacy video maker, I used the remove a color visual effect in order to remove the red background I use. Within Wrapper Offline. A higher tolerance means more transparency. Same for a higher softness. And I've never had any reason to mess with the hue and definge percentages. The exact tolerance I use changes depending on exactly who's in the Wrapper Offline video. At some point I needed to capture Ginger, who is a business-friendly character. And I, in particular, experimented in order to try and try and blur him, I captured him through a Beyond Studio video. You can't have the business themes on Rapper Offline because that would be egregious copyright infringement. I recently got my subscription to Beyond renewed. I did some experimenting. In the past, I've used the third-party website. I believe it's Thai Power something. In Stronghold Kingdoms, I'm currently researching weapon making. To increase the rate at which I make bows. I think after that research completes, I'm going to research, excuse me, yeah, I think it's Capwing. That's the name of the video editor. I can blur a video using Capwing. At least that's one avenue I tried in order to blur a video of Ginger lip syncing something, but that didn't really work because I think it resulted in a loss of quality because Capwing is unregistered and I have no reason to do that. I believe I only used it historically in order to get a video to play and reverse as I needed for the 99th Dan Hamming episode at one point. Thanks to Camtasia 2019 at least, I managed to find a way to do object to person animations, but the process is pretty manual and tedious. And in fact, it turns out, I found this out through a YouTube video. Camtasia has in annotations tab and a blur and highlight tab where you can click it and get a rectangle where you can blur everything, but I wasn't able to successfully use that option in order to achieve this result. It would kind of just blur everything. So for this in particular, this is actually a Camtasia project, a whole new separate but brief Camtasia project, excuse me, that was exported as an MP4 video of the highest quality. And rendering that took only a few seconds, whereas rendering this currently 12.25 minute animation takes more like 10 minutes. It's pretty resource intensive considering how whenever I render the DH99 or Dan Hemming and the Uber Camtasia project, it never fails to make my PC or laptop considerably hotter at this area around here. And I can hear the fans or CPU working overtime whenever I decided to render that project, which I did a few times today in order to fix bugs within the animations itself. For which sometimes it was a matter of making edits within Camtasia. Sometimes it was more a matter of making edits within raw video files within Vion Studio. But either way, I resolved bugs within the 99th Dan Hemming episode Camtasia project.